is a little demonstration here. This is the paradoxical boxing in. Opposites attract. There's for every reaction there's an opposite reaction. Here's the basis and here it works. This is where it starts. Exhibit A, narrowing down. A little more in depth, narrowing down. It's basically all based on chaos, panic. These are basically people, the way you look at it. Panicky, boxed in slowly. So it's narrowing it down, which is an arrow. Getting them basically to panic and vibrate. Here's an example based on that feeling. A little more in depth, concentrated. Example. Okay. You get into this a little more. It's called Sierpinski's mind game. So, narrowed down, boxed in, and the end result is this. You're basically slowly isolating them. Depends on the order you want to do it though, but if you think about it, this is how it works. See that? Narrowed down, boxed in, and then you're isolating them. This is more concentrated form. It's a swirl pattern. The downward spiral, they call it. You're being boxed in. Now here's a little more. It's called more in depth. Panic, isolate. And if you get into it, it's even more concentrated. Panic, isolate. Worst case scenario. Dunce cap, you're dead with a cherry on top. Right here. Concentrated. That's mostly it. So that is how it works. It's a chaos game. It's called Sierpinski's game and determining chaos. This is it right here. Fractals, chaos, and power laws. So these are basically examples of these games. Basically getting them to panic, narrowing them down. Basically one attracts, and then there's one here. Basically it causes chaos and a vibration pattern sequence. Then it turns into, well, you're boxing them in, which even makes them more panicky. And then once you get them where you want them, you're basically isolating them. You're outflanking them and getting them in a position where they're totally, well, freaked out. They're the worst case scenarios right there, what I did right there. It's actually that simple. It's called Sierpinski's gasket. Here's one. That's based on the way that feels. Okay. That's based on that way that feels. That's based on the way that feels. Sierpinski's a Russian. So this is the basis to get you started in the end. This is real concentrated. That's getting you down. Isolation. Much more concentrated. Based on where you're narrowed. And super concentrated. Now the end result is this. It's called, I can't believe it. Where is it? This. Worst case scenario. The top of the ladder is based on symbols. This in Greek means basically, I've been telling you for years, die. You back up. X marks the spot. Three-dimensional version of Sierpinski's gasket. So this is a demonstration, but guess what? Look right there in the center of this. That's the worst case scenario, that feeling right there. This is how you basically isolate this paradoxical demonstration. Now on the front, it's the same thing. Manfred Schroeder. Mit Nikki.